All right, welcome everyone to the 21st episode of the Accelerator podcast, brought to you by Past Consulting and Everable Marketing. Today, it's going to be myself and my beautiful and lovely wife, Maribili, and we're going to be talking about social media. I know you guys want to know more about this topic, so I brought Billy on as she's the expert within Everable who really handles a lot of our handles all the social media accounts for our clients. And last time she was on, it was actually one of our most popular episodes. So I figured you guys would want to know more about social media. And so today we're going to talk about why you need a social media strategy and then how to actually make one. So Billy's going to talk to us about that process. Do you want to say hi real quick?
Yeah, hi everybody. Because for whoever is watching us on YouTube, you probably saw me a little bit there. But if you're just listening in, hi, I'm Maripili, and we're here to talk about social media.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and start by, well, why do we need one? Why does a Mets ball owner need a social media strategy?
I'm going to say that the first thing that you need one is it's so time saving. It's going to save you so much time in the long run. If you cannot just go along your day and just start posting, because, oh my God, I forgot to post today. It's just going to be so tiring for you to be trying to come up with a caption, come up with something to post every single day. So having that social media strategy way before, it's just going to save you so much time. So that's number one.
Yeah. And I think a part of it too is that like the way we handle it is that we always batch things, right? So you can save a lot of time by batching the work. And so set a day where you're just going to spend, an hour, 2 hours on social media, schedule everything, and then boom, you're done for the next 2-4 weeks, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, and then number two, it's also, you can get more of a bird's eye view and align everything that you're going to be talking about social media along with your specials, your promos, your services, and even your ads. If you have ads going out, you can definitely kind of make sure that everything kind of interconnects. And that is the easiest way to see everything from above.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times if you're just trying to do it like day by day, it's like you don't really go in with the strategy in mind, right? Like you don't really know, okay, what is the theme of this month, right, or what are the specials for the month? You're kind of just spurting sporadically, and you don't really, like, people can sense that. Like people can see when like your social media presence, all your pictures and content is like all over the place. So if you can really kind of deem it down, plan for it, and create a strategy around what's going on that quarter or that month, then that'll kind of make everything a lot more cohesive, and, right, and it'll have a stronger impact too, which is really what you want. So yeah, really good point.
Yeah, because at the end of the day too, like maybe you're just focusing on one specific service and you kind of forget all of your other services that people still kind of want to know about.
Yeah.
So having that and having everything written out is just going to really help you see, okay, what am I missing here?
For sure.
Also, it just makes it easier to create. So like Luis was saying, like we do a lot of batch working. So if you kind of start doing like every single day a little bit of something, whether that be like some pictures or photos or whatever it is for your social media that you do, it's just going to get very time consuming trying to get all those pieces together. So having a strategy, it lets you know already, like make an itemized list of I need to take this and this picture or this and this video, and it's just easier. Like you said, you can only assign like maybe half a day to do everything for the entire quarter if you wanted to, and then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month.
For sure. And and one rule of thumb, guys, I will say is that like every now and then you're going to come across a scenario or a situation where something cool is happening. Somebody did something cool. Somebody had a patient came in, he got some great results, something like that. Right. And it is going to have you like deviate from this strategy that you already had planned. Take a snapshot of that picture. I mean, that situation, take a video of it, and then go ahead and put it if you want to. But that's the thing, like you're not kind of having to like run around and like, oh my God, I need to post something today. What am I going to post? Right. Like, you already have your stuff preset. And then when those little like magic moments happen within your practice, take a snapshot of that and then post it. But at least you already have like something you can fall back on in case you don't post. Because one of the most important things with social media is consistency. You want to be posting on a frequent basis so you don't lose your audience. So yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, okay. So we talked about why we need it. So how often should we be doing it?
Well, there's a couple options, right? And it all depends on your business, how you and your time. So it could be a monthly thing. We usually do some like every month. We kind of like keep on doing this, but you can also do it quarterly. So if you have the type of business where you don't maybe you don't have specials every single month and it's just every so often, you can just do everything for the entire like the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way of doing it. I would definitely recommend to have an annual view. So just make sure to have like a calendar where you can see the entire year at a glance, just because you can add stuff like your special events if you already know that they're coming up, or holidays, which never change. So just make sure that you have those. Maybe if you celebrate those like funny like national days, like National Coffee Day or whatever it is, you can also add those there, or birthdays of your staff members.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you already have content for like special seasons and it's always there.
For sure. Okay. So then now another question we had is, what should be in it?
What should be in the social media strategy?
Yes.
So we kind of like to have three main sections. First is your goal for the month. So what's your goal for that month specifically? And this is gonna, we can talk about this in another episode more about like reporting and how to go about it, like your analytics and how to read those and how to set your month for the next goal, like your goal for the next month, based on those. But for example, you might want to talk about like have a little bit more brand awareness. Maybe the people in your area don't know much about you, your practice and what you do there. Or you might want a little bit more engagement. So you want your goal to be a little bit more conversational with your audience. So that could also be something. Maybe you just want to build an audience. Maybe you're barely starting with your social media, or you haven't posted in a really long time. So it's kind of stagnant there and you just want to build that audience. So that could be another goal. Or just educating, like plain and simple, like just educating about your services, making sure that you are not seen as the expert in those services and those areas. So that might also be your specific goal. And these goals can change like throughout the month and throughout, you know, the quarters or however you want to like figure that out. But at the same time, you can have a plan of like, this is what I'm going to be talking about.
Yeah. And I think a big part of that is like what we call like your KPIs, right? Which is your key performance indicators. So like, what are you tracking? Like, are you trying to track like how much engagement you're getting, how many comments, how many likes, how many new followers you have, you know, like different things like that are all metrics that you can look at. So you can kind of make sure that, you know, you're not just posting for the sake of posting it. You know, you're posting and it's actually making a difference and your audience is actually resonating with your message, which is obviously most important. But then even deeper than that, you say, well, how many, you know, and this is a little bit harder to track, but it's like, well, are we actually getting new people through the door, right? Which is like one of the most important things. So I think that's really, really good.
And that is kind of hard to do. Like you do have to like mind shift that social media might not always be the way where you're going to sell stuff like that. That's also why it complements really well with advertising and having those ads. But just think of it as social media is your business card. I mean, people, that's what you give them and that's what they're going to hold on to. And that's how they're going to get to know you. So it's that handshake, right? So that's what you kind of want to put out there. If like sales come out of it and like people that are serious about your services and they want to follow you, like that is the end goal, just to have those raging fans. But just thinking about it that way, it just makes it a lot easier on you.
For sure. So what are some like content categories that like a lot of the like med spa owners can be like focusing on creating?
So definitely like, I mean, you can kind of like vary these, but we definitely recommend to have obviously photos and videos. That's very, very important. But also maybe like blog posts, email newsletters, of course, your posts and your captions. And definitely if you're not using Instagram stories, you should be already using those.
Why are they so important?
Right now, like since it's the last thing that Instagram came out with, they're putting all of their energy and their whole algorithm is going towards Instagram stories. but and I actually we're gonna have another episode about more about Instagram stories.
Okay. So stay tuned for our next episode, because we're
Yes.
actually going to talk a little bit more
Yes,
about
it's
Instagram.
just there's just so much. But definitely the other thing right now I'm just gonna say is that people are scrolling so fast. Like, it's gotten to the point that people just scroll by and they don't even double tap anymore. Like, they're just seeing and consuming content, like double tapping takes too long or something.
Yeah.
So the Instagram stories is just so much easier to deal with, because you just click on one and all of them start coming up again and again, and you don't really have to.
So I know for me, and I know this is obviously a part of the reason why they're doing it, is like people have stopped to scroll up and down, and they're scrolling left and right, which is what basically kind of what happens when you're consuming Instagram stories or even Facebook stories and different things like that. So super important. So there's obviously different types of content you guys can be posting out, but one of the things that we always say is that reuse your content. So if you have videos, if you did a blog post, then create a video about it, create a picture out of it that you can post on social media and then drive people to that blog post, right? So if you did an email newsletter, then what are some of the things you put in that email newsletter, and then put that in your social media? Like, a lot of people always want to be creating new content, and that's, you should be creating new content, but don't forget that you can also supplement by using some of the existing you have, but repurposing it for social media or even for other things, right? So something else to really consider, guys, as we're kind of going through this process.
Yeah, and having all of those interconnected, because at the end of the day, you might be talking about maybe cool sculpting, right? And you might have, for example, something that we just released was 5 myths about cool sculpting, right?
Yeah.
And so we created like a blog post, we have a video about it, we have stories about it, we have a newsletter like that links to the blog post, we have photos, and we have some posts, right? And all of that doesn't have to all go out the same month.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really good to have an annual view, because you can say like, I'm going to post like some stuff here and there that kind of connects everything together, but it might be feeling like a little bit too much. Like, you're talking about cold sculpting too much one month. So you can just kind of spread it out throughout the year. So it's not as, it's a little bit more consumable for the public, but at the same time, it's easier on you because you already have this content for the next months.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what are some monthly topics, that you would think that could be easy for people to kind of just start with?
Well, more than that, like what I kind of was talking about here is that what we like to do and what we have in our strategy plan is that we do have, even if you are doing this like quarterly, we do have the month displayed, and we kind of input topics of what is that we want to talk about each day. Mm-hmm. So as a rule of thumb, you want to be posting at least 5 times a day, 3 to 5, but
per
5,
day?
No, a week.
A week. Okay.
A week. If you have the audience that likes to consume more content and you can actually do like a couple of posts a day, that's even better. But let's be honest. Yeah. It's a little bit too much sometimes. So even if it's just once a day, you are there, you're showing up, and just having those, it might be a little bit too much to sit down one day and just put everything there that same day. So what we like to do is kind of divide that into separate chewable sections. So the first day we'll just go into the month. We already have our content library. We already have what is it that we're going to be talking about, our monthly specials, our theme for that month and everything. So we're just going to go day by day and really quickly just go into what's the topic for that day. Are we going to be talking, and this is actually what we talked a little bit about in our last episode, you and I together, about having those like 5 ever core values. Mm-hmm. So just making sure that those kind of like alternate every single day, and you kind of write down the topics for that day. So whether it's about, you're going to be talking about your gold sculpting services, maybe about a laser service, maybe a chemical peel, whatever it might be, you just go, bless you.
Wow. So sorry about that.
You just go day by day, really quickly, inputting a couple of sentences, not even, maybe just phrases, and you can go back there the next day and actually write your captions. So this way you can see it all in display and then change it as you go along if you need to.
Yeah. So we actually have like a PDF document that we're going to that Billy was nice enough to share with you guys. So if you're watching us on video, I'm actually going to share it right now, and Billy will talk a little bit about it. But this is our template, and we're actually going to make this available for you guys. So we'll include a link on the show notes. You guys can go and download this, and you can use it for your own practice. And that way you kind of have like this whole process of how you can actually create a social media strategy. So do you want to go over a little bit about how this works?
Yeah, and actually this, if you have Acrobat Pro, you can open it there and you can just input your information. So it's really simple to use. Just make sure to save it as, and then add another name to it.
Yes.
So you don't rewrite on it. But yeah, so the first thing that we have really big on the left-hand corner, it's the goals. So that's what we were talking about. So let's say that this month we're just going to be building brand awareness. It's a new practice. We want to make sure that our name is out there, that people kind of know our services, right? So then we go into our monthly theme. For this theme, or right now, we just have, it says on our screen, presenting Cool Room. That is one of our clients that we're working with, and they're starting up. So we're just going to be talking about them, like their services, them, their story, their why, and we just want to present them to their audience. Then we have our sections, which is our Evercore 5. So we're going to be talking about those a little bit more. And then on the next column, we have the content creation. So we just kind of divided it into the blog posts, the videos, the Instagram stories, and the email blasts. And in here, we kind of have a little bit more of an idea of what we want to talk about. And the really cool thing about having something like this that you can edit is that you can just kind of add some stuff in there, and if it doesn't align with everything else, you can always go back and change it or add some more stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can have our blog post, what we're going to be talking about. Even if you have one a month, I think that's really good. You don't have to go all out. Videos, what type of videos is it that you need from your staff, from yourself, just in the daily, whatever it might be. Then we want to go into our Instagram stories. And in Instagram stories, we can do graphics. So you can easily go to maybe like a program like Canva, which anybody can use, and just kind of make some graphics in there. Maybe if you already have your blog post, for example, we have here 7 things you need to know before you get cool sculpting. So we're going to do our Instagram stories about that. And we're just going to do each slide about a different reason why, or thing you need to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can also do like videos about it as well. So however you want to work it. Then we have our email blast. So what is it that you want to talk about on your newsletter? Usually here we want to add like the date that you want to release this and the subject line, because sometimes when you're actually doing it, you might just end up spending so much time trying to find a good subject line.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally on the third column, we just have the month. So you just write which month it is. And like I said, just the topics, just really quick phrases of what is it that you want to talk about that day. So it doesn't have to be the entire caption. You can assign another day out of your week just to create all the captions. But we usually like to add a couple of phrases just so we know, okay, this is what it's going to be about. And this is the photo or the video or whatever asset you're going to be using for that caption.
Yeah, that's cool. So this gives you guys like a bird eye view of what the month is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And it's going to help you all just get organized and help you know what type of content you need to create based off of the goals for that month and then the monthly theme.
Yeah.
So as I said, if you guys want access to this, we'll include the link on the show notes. Go ahead and click on that. And then you can actually download this for your practice, and you can just start using it. So you guys can have a social media strategy and start having a bigger impact in your local community, and start getting more brand awareness, ultimately help drive more patients through the door. Is there anything else that you would want to leave us with? Any last words?
I love when you say any last words. I feel like this is so final. I don't know. I would just say, I know we talked about a lot, so we can always kind of like try to make it a little bit easier. But the really cool thing about this is that don't forget to plan ahead. So we're right now in March. We're already planning for April.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure to keep that in advance. And as long as you give yourself enough time to create this, it's going to get easier as time goes by.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you need more help, we're always here for you guys.
Yeah, so definitely something we help our clients with. So if you guys need help with it, then feel free to reach out. We'll have a conversation about it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode. If you want to, well, first of all, leave us a review, guys. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what type of topics you want us to talk about. If you want somebody to be featured on the podcast, or if you want to be featured on the podcast, let us know. And don't forget to join our online Facebook community where other med spa owners just like you are on there all communicating. And that's where we actually release the episodes first. Yeah. So, and we also have exclusive content for that community only. So make sure if you're not a part of it, you're listening to us right now, you're watching us and you're not on there, go on there right now. There's a link somewhere around here on the show notes. Click on it, go to the Facebook page, request access. And if you, and that's the thing, guys, like we only let other med spa owners in there. Like we don't let anybody else that's not a med spa owner in there. So it's an exclusive community of professionals just like you, business owners just like you. So go ahead and get on there, and we hope to see you there. All right, guys, stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll talk to you soon.